Some cool things happened in 1983. Nintendo released Mario Brothers, the video game. Motorola released their first mobile phones, and Toyota introduced the 1983 FJ40. So we're making this episode not to showcase a restoration, but because we have two 1983 FJ40s, both complete survivors, almost all original, both with factory power steering and air conditioning in the same place, and that's definitely worth putting on the internet. On the right is my personal 1983 FJ40, factory power steering and air, pretty low miles, definitely a survivor, but the special one in this case is this one right here on the left, so let's go check it out. We were recently very lucky to help pass this uber rare 1983 FJ40 with factory power steering and air conditioning. One of only 48 sold in the United States from an individual who's been very good to it over the years, keeping it in pristine shape. And we passed it along to another individual in the Land Cruiser community who truly cares about them and will be a great steward for this vehicle into the future. This is genuinely a time capsule Land Cruiser, and we wanted to make sure that we documented everything we could about it while it's in our possession. The dead giveaway to show that this is a 1983 is the unique bolt-in dash between the gauge cluster and the glove box door. 1983 was the only year of this option in the United States, and of course the last year. Also unique to this model is the ability to have factory power steering and air conditioning. So aftermarket wheels weren't the only thing people did to FJ40s. Luckily, neither of these had the wheel wells cut for fender flares, but they did put this Warn winch on here and this winch cradle that I think Confer was making back then, as well as a CB radio and some antennas and some aftermarket lights. All this is gonna go because we're gonna take this and reset it completely back to stock. Of course, the CB radio and the CD changer are also on the list of items to be removed. So you can tell that the top of this Land Cruiser has never even been off because it has the factory rubber seals on all the seams. This FJ40 even has the factory hubcaps and they're in nearly perfect condition. Because these are so rare, we hardly ever even get them in the shop. So when they get here, we want to pour over them and learn as much as we can from them. And so I asked Bob to come in here because I thought he probably knows something about 83 FJ40s that I don't know, and it turns out he did. So let's hear this interesting Land Cruiser nerd tidbit.
The emblems are different. So 83 only had a fatter hole inside the apron and a push-in plastic clip instead of the metal basket type.
So 1983 FJ40
is the only one that I know of that has that style.
And you can still get them new from Toyota, which
you can get both styles new.
There you go. Comment if you knew that. Here's something really cool to geek out about. This is the original window sticker. You could see that in 1983, the power steering edition was $235 and it cost $710 to add air conditioning. That's crazy. The price of this, under 12 grand, this just sold for 10 times the original value. That's pretty cool. So just because we wanted to shoot that 1983 FJ40, decided to bring mine down today. I couldn't even drive it, if that's not the horrible thing. A friend of mine had to drive it, but this guy is pretty nice too. This is mostly original paint. It's had one small touch-up area done in the back, probably from a collision. 85,000 original miles, also factory power steering and AC. And it had a lot of the same kind of funky things done by one of the owners way back. Aftermarket wheels, of course, which I also switched out immediately for FJ40 wheels. My front bumper's chromed. I've got a new bumper to put on it. Of course, the cardinal sin of cutting holes in the door panels for speakers on both of these. Luckily, door panels are still available new from Toyota, so we already got those en route for this one, and I have mine for this one. We'll get rid of the stereos too, maybe install a retro stereo and some of the speaker mounts that we make. That's one thing Toyota didn't do very well, is come up with good places to put speakers, but at least we have a good solution. And there's a handful of other things I need to do, but two of them in the same room, super cool. Wish I could drive one. Hey Jed, we're walking around the shop asking everybody if they remember anything that happened in 1983.
I was born then, yeah. It's like the greatest year ever.
You're the same year as those FJ40s.
Yeah. It's like the greatest year ever.
You're highly collectible.
You should ask my wife.
Boy, but you don't have any memories. Do you have any memories at all of 1983?
No.
What happened?
So recently I had an uncle deceased, so I've been looking into the history of more of my aunts and uncles, and a different uncle was working for Motorola in '83, and they introduced the cell phone.
Yep. I already said that.
Oh, okay.
But that's because I looked it up. So, yeah.
Jordy knew it right off the top of his head.
Yeah, and Mario Brothers.
Ooh, there's
First
a
year
good
of Mario
one.
Brothers. I was looking at
Yeah.
Fun Facts in '83, and those
a
were the
good
only
one.
good ones, and Cabbage
That's
Patch
a
Dolls.
good one.
Everything else was bad. It's a lot of work to restore seats. This is all the seats and seat frames and seat brackets and hinges for a 71 FJ40 restoration. Well, this is single stage. Normally we'd spray metallic paint, base coat, clear coat, but because these aren't big flat panels on the side of a car, we're able to do them with single stage, but it's a lot of work, a lot of silver inside of one of these things. You don't think about it until you see all the pieces out, separate, painted, but a lot of silver springs. So you're going to be doing that one too with fenders on it today?
Yes, all three of these are going to have front clips on them before the end of the day.
So 3 FJ40 restorations in a row that are almost in the exact same position in the build process. That's cool. Especially since all we've been looking at lately are 60s and 80s. Now I see 5 FJ40s in the shop. 40s are making a comeback.
About time.
Yeah. So which color is your favorite, Roy? Blue, tan, or whatever that is?
I've always
Ocean.
been dune beige or desert tan guy myself. That's what mine is.
You're very natural.
That blue's a real nice color too. Although
Matt?
this one here is a bit unique. I'm gonna stick with my typical favorite, but all three of them are pretty cool.
What about you, Matt?
I'm going to have to go with what the guys are calling electric watermelon. Bad boy right over there. Very
We'll come
unique
back
color,
and get a shot with the fenders on it. That'll give us a better idea.
Real unique color, and it's going to make that vehicle stand out. Definitely.
Yeah, why be boring?
Yeah, why be boring?
Why go tan? Roy, you're boring.
Let me worry.
You're a tan, boring guy.
I blend in pretty good.
What are you doing? Come and swap?
Yeah, 2.8 swap.
And a non-restoration, right? Just the engine conversion. What do you have to do when you're doing the engine swap to make, like there's always things that have to happen at the same time as an engine swap. What are they? It's like a test.
Does it always have to happen with
Yeah,
the
have to
swap?
happen. Well, with this engine swap.
Well, we have to clean the frame and everything and get all the old mounts
No,
out.
I mean other accessories that you have to have.
Oh, other accessories?
Yeah, other things.
Oh, we have to do the intercooler, a bigger radiator, mechanical fan.
You have
We
to have a
usually
lift.
do, well, yeah, lift. We usually do power steering as well.
Have to do power. Well, I don't think you have to do power steering, but what's the pump gonna do?
Exactly, and also the mount for the the original steering gear would be very much in the way.
No, it does fit.
Does it?
Yeah, because we did one of these when a rig that had factory power steering. Just one. But normally we do Saginaw power steering, and the reason for that is I like 60 series power steering. I know you do too. But we can't run a 60 series box with a Cummins because it's in the way of the giant radiator that we use to cool this engine and the intercooler. So it's to Saginaw with us for that. 3 different power steering conversions we do. Anytime we're doing an engine swap or 35-inch tires, with lockers especially, we go Saginaw. And a tranny.
Yeah. 855
And
always.
4 modifications.
Yeah. He's
It's
got
looking
a
good.
basketball-sized hole in his hump for us already.
I
It's
saw
made
it.
real
It had a
easy.
nice diamond plate cover.
Oh yeah.
You know why people do that? You know why that was like that?
No.
So here's my guess, and I'm pretty sure I'm right. Somebody changed the clutch at some point,
Yep.
and they didn't want to pull the gas tank because you have to pull the gas tank to pull the tunnel cover to pull the transmission.
Yeah.
So rather than take the gas tank out, which is easy, they just cut giant slots in the transmission tunnel so that
slide it all
everything
backwards?
can slide back. Yeah, you see it all the time. Sometimes they cut it and just fold it back and then fold it back forward. But shortcut, not a good shortcut.
Yeah.
Could be a stop it.
Could be.
Yeah, stop being lazy.
Just pull the entire thing out. It's like 4 bolts on a factory one.
Yeah, it's not that much extra work. But anyway, this looks awesome. This guy's super excited. He'll be happy to see it on camera, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got them. We said it was gonna have fenders, and it has fenders. And that one has a bib and aprons. They're going together. Fun fact, these wheels and tires, these were the wheels and tires that were on my 83 FJ40 that we just talked about. Now they are shop rollers, designated shop rollers, because this thing won't be getting those wheels either. And Eddie's wiring. See wires, Eddie.
Because there's a washer rolling on the back. It's a very lightweight nut.
This is another one of these reasons why I hate GM wiring harnesses and aftermarket wiring harnesses. Like, it's horrible. You think the viewers heard me say, short of your wiring harness being chopped up in 1-inch pieces, it's restorable. But in this case, we had to use a painless harness. How come, Eddie?
Because of the steering column.
Got what kind of steering column?
It's a blending river steering column with tilt.
And a GM style turn signal switch.
Yeah.
And hazard switch. So if you're using a Toyota turn signal switch and hazard switch, the Toyota harness is really the only way to go. But if you need a tilt column, which this customer really wanted, then you go GM, because that's the way that GM controlled their turn signals and the hazard switch. It's all built in here, so we use a painless harness. And in this case, kind of fits because it's got the GM engine and everything. But we have to deal with this cheesy aftermarket plastic nut having GM headlight switch that can't be mounted. Junk. But cool color. What do you think of the color, Eddie?
I like the color.
Eddie likes every color, just so you guys know. Eddie always says, I didn't think I was gonna like the color, but now I like the color. And he said that about every color we've ever painted. He just likes Land Cruisers.
We got that. I got the bib for this car. I'm going to put that on the front end.
If this had the holes in it before.
Right, but it would work better than that as well as the other one.
That'll tie the front fenders together and allow us to mount the hood and adjust everything for a proper fit. Rigid truck headlamps, which is an upgrade headlamp, and they're super cool. They work really good, and they look great.
Matt, name one thing that happened in 1983 for 10 points.
Name one thing
Have
that
a list.
happened in 1983.
Yeah.
The US Festival. I was there,
good enough
Heavy
one,
Metal
brother.
Day.
I went on that day too, but I was a young guy, like super young,
How old were you?
not even 13.
I was working on one of the first car I owned. I know that at that time.
Yeah. What was the first car you owned in 1983?
1962 Pontiac.
You're still driving old ass.
Gunther, this Jordy stole my thunder with his cell phone.
Oh.
How about I believe Ronald Reagan proposed the defense something initiative.
These guys, Ronald
Star
Reagan?
Wars.
Star Wars.
Yes.
These guys are history buffs. We have a whole shuffle of history buffs, or they've been knowing that we're going to do this and looking things up on the internet.
Yeah, but you're the one that's been looking up the things on the internet.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
But I'm
actually.
going to admit that I don't have a good memory and that I don't know anything about what happened in 1983. I was also 13. Yeah, my head was up my ass then, even more than now. Thanks for checking out these sweet 1983 US Spec FJ40s with me. If you liked this episode, check out all of the other episodes on YouTube. I think this is 62, so there's hours and hours of video to watch. Go on our website and check out all the restorations there. There's an online store. You can't get the Can't You See My Leg Ashore shirt there, but you definitely can get some cool Proffitt swag. Instagram, Pro Cruiser, Facebook, Resurrection Land Cruisers. Check us out. Oh, psst. There's something else here I want to show you before this episode's over. Let's go check it out. This is my 1999 Land Cruiser 1999 Toyota Epic 22 ski boat matching combo that I'm so proud of, and I actually just sold it. Super heartbreaking because this is probably one of my favorite, well, this is definitely my favorite Land Cruiser boat combo, but it's probably one of my favorite vehicles that I've ever driven. I mean, I just love going to the lake and having people surprised that Toyota built boats, thinking that maybe the Land Cruiser and the boat came together as a package from the factory. It's not true, we restored the Land Cruiser to match the boat, but it's here at the shop because we just did a timing belt and water pump in both the boat and the Land Cruiser for the new owner. I'm not gonna be without a Toyota boat though. I just bought an identical boat from Toyota that happens to be 2 years newer, fewer hours, and all of the features. This one's missing a handful of them. So I upgraded, but this sweet combo is going to Florida and I'm super happy for the new owner. By the way, 99 Land Cruiser, 99 boat. Now I have a 2001 boat. Guess what I need? I need a 2100 series. A white one. So if any of you watching this have one for sale or see one, I guess that's my next Land Cruiser purchase.